Case summary, case citation. On the application of Miller v. The Prime Minister 2019 UK SC 41 Court, Supreme Court of the United Kingdom Judges, Lady Hale, Lord Reed, Lord Kerr, Lord Wilson, Lord Hodge, Lady Black, Lord Lloyd-Jones, Lady Arden, Lord Kitchen, Lord Sales. Background facts claimant. Gina Miller, applicant, defendant, Prime Minister Boris Johnson plaintiff. Gina Miller in 2019, Prime Minister Boris Johnson advised the Queen to suspend Parliament for 5 weeks in the lead-up to the UK's scheduled departure from the European Union, Brexit. This prorogation was perceived by many, including the claimant Gina Miller, as an attempt to stifle parliamentary debate and prevent MPs from scrutinising the government's Brexit plans. Gina Miller challenged the legality of this prorogation. Argument. Claimant's argument. Gina Miller argued that the Prime Minister's advice to the Queen to prorogue Parliament was unlawful. The prorogation was intended to frustrate or prevent the ability of Parliament to carry out its constitutional functions without reasonable justification. Defendant's argument. The Prime Minister argued that the prorogation was a standard procedure and that it was a political matter not justiciable by the courts. The government contended that prorogation was within the Prime Minister's prerogative powers and not subject to judicial review. Final outcome and legal justification. The Supreme Court unanimously ruled that the Prime Minister's advice to the Queen to prorogue Parliament was unlawful. The prorogation was deemed null and void, and Parliament was not prorogued. Legal justification. Justiciability. The court determined that it had the authority to rule on the lawfulness of the Prime Minister's advice to prorogue Parliament. The court emphasized that even though prorogation is a prerogative power, it is subject to legal limits. Constitutional principles. The court highlighted fundamental constitutional principles, particularly parliamentary sovereignty and accountability. The decision to prorogue Parliament had the effect of frustrating or preventing the ability of Parliament to carry out its constitutional functions without reasonable justification, which was unacceptable in a democratic society. Key concept implication. The case reaffirms the principle that the exercise of prerogative powers is subject to legal scrutiny and must align with constitutional principles. It underscores the role of the judiciary in upholding the rule of law and ensuring that the executive does not undermine parliamentary sovereignty. Key learnings. Prerogative powers are not absolute and are subject to legal and constitutional constraints. Judicial review serves as a crucial check on the executive, ensuring that actions are lawful and respect constitutional principles. Parliamentary sovereignty is a fundamental principle that must be preserved to maintain a functioning democracy.